You won't believe this one. Word is Harry Maguire just got cut from the England squad. People are swearing they won't even watch the tournament. Out of nowhere, Thomas Tuchel has completely stunned the nation, baffled the globe, and engineered a World Cup roster that looks chaotic on paper, but lethal on the pitch. Here is the official 26-man roster England just dropped across all their social channels. Cole Palmer stays home, Phil Foden stays home, Trent Alexander-Arnold is missing out too. Harry Maguire, Morgan Gibbs-White, Adam Wharton, Conor Gallagher, Jarrod Bowen, and Lewis Hall all dropped. This is exactly why social media caught fire over the most leaked roster ever. The missing stars are staggering. No Phil Foden, no Cole Palmer, and no Trent Alexander-Arnold. Instead, Djed Spence gets the nod. Fans screamed madness. Pundits and analysts tore into the logic. These massive snubs instantly hijacked the news cycle. Even hardened football veterans stared at the omissions, totally baffled. How could the national team ditch so much raw talent right before the biggest tournament? Reporters pressed him. Are you afraid to leave all that star power behind? Did you feel any fear making this call? Do you worry about dropping these guys? Not at all. Tuchel fired back with absolute ice. Building the ultimate squad does not mean just hoarding the 26 most gifted guys you can find. Teams win trophies. Simple as that. Hidden in that quote is a harsh truth English football keeps ignoring. Star status means absolutely zero without tactical harmony, which makes this exact roster incredibly gripping. While fans mourn the axed superstars, Tuchel is hunting for soldiers who can survive 7 grueling World Cup matches. England still packs Harry Kane's finishing, Bukayo Saka's control, Jude Bellingham's authority, Declan Rice's leadership, Eberechi Eze's magic, and Morgan Rogers' power. Throw in relentless pressing, midfield bite, power in the air, and serious structural balance. Suddenly, this national setup feels designed for deep knockout runs rather than flashy headlines. This is definitely not the fragile England of the past. The old golden generation boasted Beckham, Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes, Rooney, Terry, Ferdinand, and Ashley Cole. A lineup that looked terrifying on paper, yet never sniffed a semi-final. Heartbreak in 2002, shootout disasters in 2004 and 6, then missing Euro 2008. Way too many egos, terrible balance, crushing pressure, and zero system. Tuchel looks absolutely determined to avoid repeating that exact disaster. The Three Lions smashed qualifiers. 8 matches, 8 wins, 22 goals scored, and 0 conceded. Now they touch down with a Champions League winning boss, a tactician famous for tweaking formations and turning knockout ties into absolute traps. So maybe the terrifying thing is not that Palmer, Foden, and Trent missed the flight. The real threat is that for the first time in forever, England stopped hunting for PR points. They actually built a roster to survive the grind. That is exactly why Thomas Tuchel and his controversial lineup might be the one World Cup nightmare nobody wants to draw. Let me just point out, that is a brilliantly ruthless quote from Thomas Tuchel. We don't just collect the most skilled individuals, we construct a real team. Let that marinate for a second. The fans demanded a flashy roster. Thomas Tuchel handed them a cold, hard warning instead. The second that list went live, the entire country absolutely melted down. Cole Palmer axed. Phil Foden out. Trent Alexander-Arnold out. Maguire, Gibbs-White, Wharton, Bowen, Lewis Hall, and Conor Gallagher all dumped from the squad. This immediately stopped being a normal roster drop. It exploded into a nationwide debate over what the Three Lions are actually meant to represent. Tuchel's defense was icy and direct. Teams win trophies. He clearly laid out that cramming 26 superstars together does not automatically create a winning machine. Which sounds incredibly logical, right up until your favorite baller is stuck at home watching the matches on television. But underneath all that screaming, people missed the point. This was never a debate about Palmer's talent. He has it. Never about Foden's clutch factor. He has it. Never about whether Trent slings passes better than almost any fullback on the planet. He does. The true motive here was much colder than pure ability. Can they all exist in the same starting 11 without totally ruining England's pressing traps, field spacing, and defensive shifts? That is where Tuchel stunned the country. He didn't pick like a fan. He selected like a knockout manager. Palmer, Foden, and Gibbs-White were the most telling cuts of all. England didn't lack creative spark. They were suffocating under too much of the exact same flavor. Palmer hunts the right half space, wanting freedom to pause, link up, and arrive late. Foden peaks when he drifts inside, receiving on the half turn to slice through central pockets. Gibbs-White dropped 14 Premier League goals and 4 assists for Forest in 2026, yet he lives in that exact same zone. So when Tuchel said you simply cannot pack 5 number 10s, he wasn't throwing shade. He was breaking down basic roster architecture. A single number 10 dictates the game. 5 completely wrecks your structure, especially since they all demand the same zones and defensive cover. Palmer getting snubbed hurt most, purely because of his past heroics, but leaks from the camp highlighted a season wrecked by knocks and inconsistent form. And honestly, watching him play recently confirms that harsh truth. He simply hasn't looked like his vintage self. That lethal edge is missing. In a major tournament, you cannot afford passengers trying to find form. Foden is even trickier. A former PF, a player of the year. One of the absolute brightest talents the nation has seen in a generation, and Tuchel just couldn't figure out where he fit. Not a pure 10, not a false 9, not a winger, not a box-to-box engine. That is the hidden truth. Foden's problem is not quality, it is definition. And Thomas Tuchel hates vague roles when margins shrink. That is exactly why Morgan Rogers, Easy, and Anthony Gordon suddenly make total sense. Rogers brings serious ball-carrying power and direct vertical runs. He won the Europa League Player of the Tournament with Aston Villa, setting up 5 goals. Easy can beat his man easily, but he doesn't need the whole tactical system built around him to thrive. Gordon brings relentless pressing, tracking back, and pure directness. Tuchel isn't just selecting forwards, he is drafting specific pressing profiles. Dropping Trent sparked the biggest backlash simply because his passing range is incredibly rare. He breaks defensive lines from deep like a playmaker, switches the play, whips crosses in behind, and turns dead attacks into massive chances with just one pass. But the trade-off is obvious. What happens to the massive space he leaves behind when the ball turns over? Tuchel's chosen right-backs Reece James, Tino Livramento, and Djed Spence all offer defensive grit, raw athleticism, and two-way power. Djed Spence won't offer Trent's insane passing range, but Tuchel loves his intensity, his defensive mindset, and how he plays both flanks. The message is loud and clear. He would much rather sacrifice creativity at right back than lose any control during defensive transitions. This is pure Thomas Tuchel. Back at Chelsea, he won the Champions League by locking down the most dangerous spaces on the pitch, not by cramming the lineup full of playmakers. Wingbacks built to attack and recover, a back 3 killing counters, pure structure over flashy spectacle. Harry Maguire thought he had a real case. 66 caps, deep tournament experience, and he started 14 of United's last 16 league matches under Carrick. Tuchel backed the centre halves who carried England through the autumn qualifiers. John Stones, Mark Guehi, Ezri Konsa, and Dan Burn. Defenders who cover open space, step into midfield, and survive when fullbacks push up. It isn't about fame, it is about serving the system. That is why the announcement felt so brutal publicly. The nation saw massive snubs. Tuchel just saw duplication. The country saw missing superstars. Tuchel saw positional traffic jams. For years, England has been trapped by the exact same question. How do you fit every star on the pitch? Tuchel's answer is brutal. You don't. You build for tournament football first, then draft players who execute that vision. Superstar status has been totally replaced by tactical function. For the first time in forever, England isn't taking the squad that looks prettiest on paper. They are picking the team that is an absolute nightmare to play against. The scary part isn't the big names Thomas Tuchel left behind. The genuinely scary thing is how perfectly every selected player fits into one unified tactical vision. This lineup isn't flashier or more glamorous than past England squads. It is simply built to function properly. Tuchel stopped asking how to cram the superstars together. Instead, he asked the only question that actually wins major knockout tournaments. What happens when England loses the ball? What happens when chaos hits in the 85th minute and one single set piece decides the entire match? The shape shows it. On paper, a 4-2-3-1. Rice and Anderson or Mainu shielding the center. Bellingham pushes high, Saka right, Gordon or Rashford left, and Kane connects it all. But in possession, everything shifts. One fullback holds, one steps up. Rice drops anchor. Bellingham and Rogers, or Eze, drift into the half spaces. Against weaker sides, it shifts to a 4-3-3, letting Rice sit while Bellingham crashes the box. That tactical flexibility isn't just for show, it's tournament armor. The qualifying campaign already proved this foundation. 8 wins from 8, 22 goals, 151 shots taken, only 34 allowed, 2.12 expected goals given up all campaign, and 0 actual goals conceded. The second European team ever to win every World Cup qualifier without conceding, matching Yugoslavia in 1954. Declan Rice is the absolute pillar here. He created 17 big chances in the Premier League this year, more than any other English player, and led the national team with 4 assists during qualifiers. Beside him, Elliot isn't flashy. He's a pure Tuchel pick. He won possession 302 times for Forest. No other player in Europe's top 5 leagues even cracked 200. Anderson isn't there to hit beautiful Hollywood passes. He is there to compress space, win second balls, and kill opponent counterattacks before they ever develop. Then Kobbie Mainoo brings calm in heavy traffic. He receives under pressure, spins away from contact, and drives through midfield. United won 18 of the 27 league games he played this season. Now put Jude Bellingham right ahead of that. He is a connector, relentless presser, late box runner, and the emotional heartbeat. The engine is complete. Since 2024, only 3 midfielders have beaten his 14 goals in 58 La Liga matches. Rodgers and Ease fit this system better than fans first realized. Rodgers brings aggressive vertical ball carrying, physical running, and real Europa League end product. He won Player of the Tournament with Aston Villa, logging 5 assists. Eze provides a completely different profile off the bench, and he has already looked incredibly sharp for England. He is only the second player since Kane in 2015 to score his first 3 England goals as a substitute. So when critics claim England lacks creativity without Cole Palmer and Phil Foden, they miss the point. Tuchel hasn't killed creativity, he just changed its flavor. This squad creates through high pressure, turnovers, runners, quick switches, second balls, and dangerous set pieces. They don't rely on free-roaming playmakers begging for touches between defensive lines. The coordinated pressing structure is England's ultimate weapon. Harry Kane angles the press. Bukayo Saka locks down one flank. Gordon or Rashford threatens that pass to the fullback, while Bellingham instantly jumps the deepest midfielder. Rice protects the second pass. Anderson aggressively attacks the loose ball. That is exactly how pressing traps work. You show the opponent one inviting pass, then the whole team collapses on it. Anthony Gordon is crucial here. This season, he bagged 10 Champions League goals. He became only the second Englishman after Kane to reach double digits in a single Champions League campaign. Saka offers pure control, hugs the touchline, links inside, and defends his zone. Rodgers brings that direct threat, driving runs, attacking the space behind. His massive Barcelona revival delivered 14 goals and 11 assists in 7 fewer games than Rodgers. Watkins totally flips the rhythm, craving the exact opposite of Kane. While Kane drops deep to link play, Watkins stretches center backs and exploits those blindside spaces. You get 2 totally different striker setups depending on the game state, yet Kane remains the absolute reference point. 58 goals across all competitions this season, ignoring the Club World Cup. That is at least 17 more than anybody else in Europe's top 5 leagues. When open play stalls, their set-piece warfare cracks the game wide open. Burn provides massive size and aerial dominance. Among players with over 500 World Cup qualifying passes, only Zarivi during the 2014 qualifiers averaged more successful passes per 90 than Burn's 116. Stones offers the cleanest defensive passing profile among anyone, with over 500 World Cup passes since 1966. He boasts the best accuracy at 95%. Throw in Kane attacking crosses, Rice whipping corners, Burn lurking far post, and Stones crashing late. England holds a brutal set-piece weapon that does not need pretty football to actually work. That matters, because international tournaments get ugly, and England has learned that bitter lesson the hard way. The Golden Generation comparison has to be made. Beckham, Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes, Rooney, Owen, Terry, Ferdinand. Cole never reached a semi-final. Lost to Brazil in 2002. Portugal on penalties, 2004. Portugal again, 2006. They totally missed Euro 2008. Gerrard later branded that whole generation as egotistical losers. He said toxic club cliques stopped them from becoming a real squad. He openly admitted that Gerrard and Lampard midfield pairing just completely failed. All that raw talent, absolutely zero structure. That is exactly the rotten culture Tuchel wants dead before this major tournament even kicks off. Dropping Palmer, Foden, Trent, and Maguire sends one very clear message to that dressing room. If stars of that magnitude can be dropped, nobody is untouchable anymore. Tuchel framed his entire squad announcement right around the idea of coming together. Henderson survives, not because fans demand he starts, but because Tuchel needs a veteran who understands how tournament camps actually breathe the slow downtime, the crushing pressure, the emotional regulation between crucial matches. This new generation carries itself differently too. Bellingham is a massive superstar, yet tactically grounded by Dortmund and Real Madrid. Saka is elite, yet grinds like a system player. Rice evolved from a midfield destroyer into a chance creator and set-piece weapon. Kane is not just a scorer anymore. He is a real playmaker. Mayu and Ender are young, but both fully grasp serious midfield responsibility. Tuchel is not just shoving famous names into a formation and praying their talent bails him out. He builds the tactical shape first, then picks the specific players who can actually thrive inside it. The Golden Generation proved that pure talent without structure simply crumbles under heavy tournament pressure. Tuchel bets that a rigid structure backed by enough talent can finally survive it. Thomas Tuchel does not need to field the most loved England squad to forge the most dangerous one. His absolute best work always happens when the football turns tactical, tight, and totally unforgiving. Back at Chelsea, he took charge mid-season and transformed a drifting squad into Champions League winners. He beat Manchester City 1-0 in the 2021 final, after knocking out Atletico Madrid, Porto, and Real Madrid along the brutal way. That major final was not won with some possession masterclass. It was decided by pure control. Chelsea choked City's rhythm, locked down the central spaces, and turned one quick transition into European glory. This was no fluke either. Just a year prior, he dragged PSG to their first ever Champions League final, falling 1-0 against Bayern. Two distinct clubs, two consecutive European finals. Even during a messy league season at Bayern, the knockout stage details still showcased his tactical fingerprints, like against Arsenal in 2024. Bayern suffocated them to 0.79 expected goals, while creating 1.74. Tuchel's smart defensive shift out left kept Saka without a single shot. That is his trademark. He spots the opponent's biggest strength, engineers a trap to neutralize it, and turns the match into a ruthless battle of fine details. That is exactly why World Cup football fits him perfectly. International tournaments reward deep compactness, defensive grit, squad harmony, obsessive tactical details, and controlled transitions. Those are not just bonus traits. They are pure survival tools. You do not win 7 matches by playing beautiful football every night. You win by staying alive when things get deeply uncomfortable. England is finally done trying to cram shiny superstars into a broken system. They are building a tactical machine that dictates which stars actually deserve the shirt. While the world still loudly debates who got left behind, Tuchel is already plotting who can survive 7 brutal knockout games. Football history rewards balanced tactical machines, not simple popularity contests. And if Tuchel gets this right, England's most lethal weapon will not be one superstar. It will be the simple reality that for once the actual squad comes first.